Hi, I'm Renea Wilhite, and this is my story. Well, back in August, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and although I felt like my world was shattered at the moment, he began to show himself to me in a very real and alive way through the people around me. One of the first things as a cancer patient, as a woman, that you have to think about is your hair. And with young children at home, I wanted to make sure that they were comfortable with me. So I went and picked one out and realized that, of course, they can't be perfect. So I needed to get my hair cut so they could get used to the new me. And my hairstylist was on vacation, so one of her coworkers stepped up and stayed late to cut my hair, and immediately refused to take my money because she knew medical bills and things like that would be adding up. And within about a week, I then found out she was doing a fundraiser with pink rings. And I've known of this lady, but I just immediately felt God's love yet again through the hundreds, literally hundreds of people that were buying rings just to show support, not just for me, but for anybody who was traveling this journey. And within about a week or so of that, then I found out she was adding me to the list of recipients in her church who received Meals on Wheels. So once a week, someone was bringing me a hot meal, which was fantastic because not knowing how I was going to feel, whether I could take care of my family by preparing the meals that I usually do, someone was bringing them to me. And I didn't have to express that concern to anybody before she did it. God's love just began to show up at my doorstep through her and through many other friends who were bringing meals to be put in my freezer. I mean, weeks and weeks worth of meals. And before I could even say, hey, they're running out, they would show up, or gift cards for restaurants would show up. So it was just amazing to see God's love coming to us through nourishing meals from our friends. And at each time we pulled one out, we just felt that again and again. It was amazing. Not once did I feel alone. I always felt him there with us. It wasn't just through the meals, but right before my first chemo treatment, teacher friends, they got this bag together. It was my survival kit, per se, of things I would need just to get through each session. And the most precious part of it to me was there was a blanket in there that was embroidered, just to let me know that no matter what was happening, they were there with me. So each time I used it, I felt wrapped in their love, which in turn really was his love wrapping around me while I was sitting there enduring this process. So after my first chemo treatment, prior to my second, I was given a t-shirt from, again, some teacher friends that said, "Friends don't fight cancer. Friends don't let friends fight cancer alone." And I thought that was really sweet and special. But then I realized how abundant God's love was through that when I found out over 200 people had decided to buy this shirt again in support of myself and other people who were going through this journey. So each time I would see someone either at school or out in public wearing a shirt, it was just a reminder to me that he loved me and that he was right there with me in this whole journey. Even sitting or walking into Mercy where I was receiving treatments and things, kind faces, his scripture was on the wall everywhere over there. As I sat and my nurses took care of me, they took a real interest in who I was. Of course, they explained the medical process, but they really made sure that I knew how important my faith and my positive attitude was in my healing. And again, it was just his spirit there at every step of the way with my doctors and those nurses over there. On my last chemo treatment day, I came home to Bethalto to over 100 friends and family lined up in the street in front of the school where I teach. And that day, in that moment, I felt like I was in his presence. They shared hugs and laughter and tears and balloons and flowers and many words of encouragement, but it was just the presence of him being there on that day. I'm no one special. I didn't do anything great. I'm just one of his children, and through this most awful time in my life, He made sure that I knew I was loved by Him and by those around me. It's just amazing. It's the easiest hard journey I've ever had to do.